And where we're going first?
We're gonna head out to Dog Island. I'm gonna show you
Okay,
some,
cool.
show you some back roads. It's places where I'm gonna try to buy land and disappear.
Oh, cool.
When all of this is said and done.
Can't give an address.
Can't get like that.
We're in a nondescript location. Dog Island.
Dog Island. Yeah, it's like the last remaining pieces of like unagricultured Louisiana. Kind of what Louisiana should have looked
Right.
like had we not
Right.
turned it into rice fields. It's saying no big deal about it. I'm just saying I'm a big nature boy and tree hugger.
Yeah, right.
So I love being in those places. I need to make up for this weekend.
You're hydrating?
Yeah. Hydrated.
Okay, so where'd you go to school out here?
So there's FIEB, Forked Island Broussard. That's like south of Swears.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there until I was in the 3rd grade. Then when my parents split up, my mama moved us to the middle of nowhere in Henry, south of Erath.
Okay.
And I went to school there for a year. And then we came to Kaplan when I just started middle school. And that's when I was a bummer. I was like, because this was like the biggest city I'd lived in. And it was away from nature, and people were kind of rude and didn't really understand country life and Cajun life. Not as much so, not to what I was used to. But it all worked out. I made friends, and then for a little while I went to school at Pecan Island, which is really awesome. That was pre-K to 12th grade. The entire school had 60 people. Your average graduating class was 3 people. Not because they weren't that smart, but because that's all the people that they had.
Right.
And 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade were all one class. So I met some of my best friends in the whole wide world out there, and really got super connected back to what it was like to live in rural Vermilion Parish. Those are some awesome days. God, I loved it so much.
And when did you when was your Blah Black Sheep experience?
Oh, that was at Forked Island.
At Forked Island. Okay, yeah.
I am the sheep. They really, I tell my mom about that, and she laughs, and then she tells me that she wasn't laughing at me. I'm like, that's bullshit.
She was laughing with you. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, right. Yeah, that's why she called all of her friends and was like, dude, you gotta hear this. It's so funny. Like, look how big the sky is. Isn't this awesome? This is like what Louisiana's. I love this. I would also love if there was forest, but
Yeah, right.
it's cool to see the sky like that.
Yeah, it's just like never-ending horizon.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, the sunsets are just unbelievable. Oh, I wish I could take y'all into a gator shed. I wonder if I could. I don't know if y'all are prepared for that. It's the worst smell you ever had in your life. I used to dream about this.
What?
About being this busy. Like, one day I'm going to be so busy that I don't know what to do with myself.
And how does it feel? Like, does it feel like you expected, or?
Exactly like I expected. It's like, okay, now I can actually be tired at the end of the day. I would always stay up late at night and think, oh, what did I forget? What did I do? And it was this anxiety of, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Well, now I have so much to do that I actually feel accomplished by the end of the day.
Right.
I like working, man. I mean, it's just in our blood, of course, but all the people that work these fields, all the people that take off and go offshore, it's like in our nature to stay busy. My talents weren't in those places, so I just have to find my business somewhere else. And now it's seemingly working out. I just hope it keeps going.
Right. And then it's interesting because you were saying that, already from the audition, you stand out because I feel like one of them said that. I forgot which one of the coaches said that, but they were like, you look different, you look unique.
Yeah, Reba, she was talking about how I'm a chameleon.
Oh, right, during the
Yeah.
battle, yeah.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah, she said that, but yeah, she's like, you're different. And at first it's just like, how, but is different a good thing? But I am what I am. That's it. I don't know how else to explain it. And luckily it's starting to all work together in a way that people feel connected and represented, but they also feel like they're getting to watch something kind of grow and transform. That feels really cool.
And then did you feel, because you're very Vermilion in a lot of ways, you're very Louisiana, but then you're also unique in your own way. And so what was that like growing up, kind of like, were you always kind of different, and in what ways did it express itself?
Oh, definitely. Like, I wasn't a big sports guy. I mean, I love sports and stuff, but I was always the guy that I was not made to perform in that way. I was made to entertain. I was always like class clown or the nicest one. And I think my journey has always been exploring ways to make people feel seen. Because for a long time growing up, I don't know if people gave me any time of day, because I didn't do all the typical stuff. I wasn't your cowboy country boy. I wasn't your sports, hometown hero or nothing like that. I was just a guy that liked to be artsy fartsy and enjoy myself. And a lot of people, like I said, I was a pretty big nerd too.
Yeah.
I like nerds.
Relatable. Stuff. I'm a nerd. But it is kind of funny though when you do you feel like there was a certain age when you kind of came into your own of like how you look and who you are as a person and what your identity is and all of that?
I'm still discovering that, really. I think right now I'm probably the most peak version of myself. I think that I dream to be in a place where I could just do whatever I want and not give a damn what anybody else thinks. And I feel like I'm pretty much in that area, but I still get for a long time, and still am in my moments, I'm a very insecure person. Discovering music has helped me, like, deal with those feelings. And I think finding your people will make you feel less insecure. Sometimes they're not where you want them to be. You have to search for them. And in finding them, you like make that bond. But every time I was here, the only time I felt okay is when I was around like my best friends who they just let me be me. And in the music community, now I have those people as well. And ever since I found those, I really discovered like true success. Success internally, but also externally.
And so when did you start your fitness journey?
My fitness journey? Well, when I was in high school, I got pretty good at running track.
Okay.
I was always a tubby kid. And then I loved running, and I had an addiction. It was my first true love. I thought that I was going to be a collegiate track athlete. But somewhere during my junior year, I discovered a guitar and alcohol. And was like, oh, well, this is way easier than running 80 miles a week. So that was the start of my fitness journey, and there was something about running all the time that made me feel really good. So after high school, I rediscovered that and wanted to navigate maybe my insecurities would be lessened if I was physically fit and more appealing. I don't know. That's just the relationship that I had with myself and my body. But it never, I was always too poor to you see people have really ridiculous body standards, especially in an industry that sells image, and I was always, you have to pay to play, I can't be eating avocados and steak every day if I'm living on the street, sleeping underneath the South College Bridge, you know? So it wasn't until I didn't really start getting into fitness until probably like 2018, where I had a steady job, steady revenue, and a steady schedule, because that's what it takes. It takes consistency, it takes work, it takes scheduling and blocking it away and making it a lifestyle. But after you get over that barrier, you just start making healthy choices, and then healthy choices feel good on the inside and look good to certain people too. So
Right. Including Michael Bublé.
including Michael Bublé.
And so what was that like though, in terms of, you mentioned that there's like in the music industry, the whole like healthy choices thing can be a challenge just because of the nature of staying up late, going to bars.
Yeah, I can't wait till, and I hope I get to a place where I can be successful enough to request a healthy option. But when you're on the road and you're making these sacrifices, you're not going to get the appropriate amount of sleep. You're not going to be able to make time for the gym, because sometimes I'm driving 13 hours playing for 3, and then hopefully not driving again before I can get some rest. You know, there's so much scheduling that has to be done and go into that. But yeah, you're always a part of the drinking environment. Most of the time, especially, I should say, specifically in the South,
Right.
the relationship is hand in hand. But when you get out of here, you realize that the South really has a problem with drinking. You know, people are so blown away when I was in LA and I was like, oh, it's a Friday, I'll have a beer. And they're like, why? Well, because I can, and it's a weekend. They're like, you're just gonna drink because it's a weekend? It's like not a holiday, not a special occasion. No, it's a part of life, you know?
Totally. Yeah, there's a whole like California sober concept where it's
yeah.
like they smoke more weed, but
Yeah, right. Which is,
has its own, yeah, right.
I have this crazy theory that like any substance that manipulates your reality potentially takes you steps away from the through line of what your story is supposed to be. And I have practiced this, if for nothing else than just to be sober, but I've practiced it to see, like, if I'm consciously making purposeful, intentional choices that have not been dictated by anything else, and I'm trying to make myself like as pure a vessel as possible, where do I end up? And it really always just seems better. I don't know if it's a placebo or if it's just the fact that I'm mentally am better. I'm emotionally better. I'm not hung up on certain things or hung over the next day. I'm not stealing happiness from other moments. I'm like in the moment, in the present moment. And that, I mean, that's nothing to say like I love drinking, having a good time too. But it really does put you on a straight and narrow path that I think is super beneficial. And I wish a lot of people in Louisiana, in the South in general, can just explore that sobriety and that avenue of it, because it's really beneficial.
Yeah, it's just interesting because it seems like in addition to the environment, it's like there's the whole, with artistry, there's a whole like creativity aspect, and sometimes like substances, at least in like history, there's all these like famous bands.
Yeah, right.
Where it's like it was a part of it, but then also it can destroy your life,
Oh, completely.
And
so I thought that it was a part of the, like, you had to be the most outgoing, witty, drunkard, and fun guy that there was. I thought that they went hand in hand, but you so realize soon that was maybe a thing in the 70s. Like, they wanted rock stars, but to have a sustainable career, there's so much more substance than that we should all be exploring. It's really hard in Louisiana specifically because you have all right, so January, right? You start Mardi Gras season about halfway through the month.
Right.
So then you're going to Mardi Gras balls and dances and stuff, and then Sooner or later, Mardi Gras happens. You've been drinking that entire time. The only time that you have your 40 days of sobriety, if you're a Catholic, usually it's kind of like systemed up amongst all the people.
Right.
After that, you have Easter, so that starts your holidays. Then you have spring festival season. That's like a whole big whirlwind of stuff. Now you get into your summer months when there's nothing else to do out here. It gets so ungodly hot that all you can do is like stay inside and drink, or if you want to tolerate the heat, then go outside and drink. By the time you know it, summer's over, then it's the fall months. And what happens in the fall? Festival season all over again. You're going through that. The end of festival season, you hit the holidays. It's Thanksgiving. You're like, oh, fuck, I worked my ass off all this year. I might as well do it for the holidays.
My friends are in town.
You do it, you do it through the holidays. You entertain all that way. It's Christmas. It's New Year's Eve. Then it's the beginning of the year. You have 2 weeks before Mardi Gras starts all over again.
Right.
And people, like, I've seen so many people that are not from Louisiana come down here and spiral into alcoholism and absolutely ruin their lives because they're unprepared for the fact that of how much drinking is just a part of the society.
Totally.
And I feel so bad for it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of the blessing and the burden of this. You know, you're blinded to the nature of what this is really doing.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the great, like, because one of the great things about Louisiana is just we're constantly coming together. There's constantly something to do, but it really does like go hand in hand with alcohol, and so it's like you got to figure out a balance. You know?
Yeah. Like, it's funny that people develop a tolerance when it's like you shouldn't have a tolerance to alcohol.
Yeah.
It should be there for your special occasions and for your moments, but man, I've just seen it ruin so many people's lives, and none of those people are bad people, and none of those people deserve that. Just get caught up in the motions of wherever we are.
Right.
So I'll tell you a story about this place right here. The property that we're about to go on is owned by my cousin Jed, and Jed and I are like this. He's been my little brother. He's a year younger than me, and we've spent all of our lives together. He used to live out here, his family, and his father owns a bunch of property here and all out throughout Vermilion Parish. But this bridge, I have on my shirt, there's like a little truck jumping a bridge. Me and Jed, we were like 7 and 8 years old, riding with his dad. His dad comes flying around the corner. We're doing 100 miles an hour in his dually truck. And he's like, y'all want to jump this bridge? And we're children. We're just like, yeah, sure. Buckle up. We hit that bridge doing 100 miles an hour in his white dually truck and go completely airborne. And I'm not even kidding. Like, we tell this story, and Jed is always just like, he's not lying. This is true. We were about 4 or 5 feet off the ground for 30 feet distance. Just Dukes of Hazzard style, flying through the air in a giant dually truck. And then we land and bounce, and my Uncle Jim is like driving, like, whoa, this is crazy. And we're like, oh my God, we can't believe this is happening. But that's one of the, on my t-shirt, you'll see like me, and you'll see a bunch of little vignettes. And one of the vignettes is like this white Ford truck flying through the air, and that's the reference.
What happened to the truck?
It later on got caught in a giant fire because Jed's house burned down. One of the chênières of Vermilion Parish. I don't know how they got, I know that Cow Island got its name because it was supposed to be one of the places where they ran one of the first cattle drives. This is actually the trailer that my cousin grew up in, and we just played all through here as kids.
Wow.
Now it's all abandoned. It's very beautiful. Oh, there's a big beehive up there now too. Kind of hear it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the oak trees out here, instead of growing down, grow up for some reason. And I always thought that that's like really beautiful. Like, you know how the live oaks usually kind of come down? There's really, really super high rooted oaks. Yeah, it's just beautiful to see this place grow.
Oh,
probably end up seeing deer too.
Yeah, I heard something over there.
But I was gonna take y'all into the woods if you wanna.
Yeah, let's do it. It's either that or a rougarou.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that trailer is beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
well, and so we We used to go back and forth before the hurricane, like the last big hurricane that came through, dropped the tree on it. So kind of got abandoned after that.
Cool.
I'll grab your camera.
Teamwork.
Yeah, baby. I've always wanted to show people this. Oh, I forgot Jed actually came out here recently, cut a path. So this
cool.
is gonna be freaking easy to get through now. So my dad built this barn back in the 90s. He's a carpenter and a plumber and everything. But you know, it's so crazy. It's like, it's crazy weather, tornadoes, floods, everything. And this thing is still standing. It's like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
crazy.
Shit, I'll just build a house inside of that. You know?
Hurricanes. Yeah. And so it's for horses?
Yeah, Uncle Jim used to have, like, I'm pretty sure cutting horses back here. And they had, I mean, it was all, there's still cows and cattle that graze, but they used to have an entire operation out here.
Got it.
Come on now. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. I usually just hop everything. Come on through.
Thank you, sir.
You can leave it open too.
Okay, cool. So how big is the land?
It's 120 acres from here, and then like a couple acres into the trees where we're about to go. And then there's 80 acres of forest, like just completely wide open forest back here. Like I said, that there's a man that owns it. Nobody ever comes out here. Some people, you could probably have it as like hunting land, but yeah, besides that, it's quiet. This is where I come. I'll just come, get barefooted, and just go walking, and I'll stay out here for all day.
Yeah.
Not talking to anybody, just kind of with my thoughts. Really, I'm not even thinking though. It's just the
At
way
one
that
with nature.
Yeah.
Do you because you post some clips sometimes of you playing music outside?
This is where I am.
Oh, it's out here. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, more often than not. Yeah, I had a tent out here for a little while, and I just come spend all day. But I want to, if I can buy some land out here, I'll just build a tiny home and come out as I need, visit Swear's Grocery,
Yeah, right.
and come back here. If there was ever 4 seasons in Louisiana, I mean, I could see myself not even needing electricity and just living out here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe you go to Nova Scotia for half the year, or for the summer at least. Yeah. And then the rest of the year down here.
Yeah, that's the dream, truly. And then tour, a month here, a month there.
Wait, so your cousin just got this?
Yeah, he just got this, like this. They came out here and camped this weekend.
Got it.
We usually do that in the winter time, because it's the only time that the weather's decent enough.
And so how big is your family?
My dad's side, he has 3 siblings. One of them has, I think, my parent has 10 kids. So all together, we're like 15 or 20 on that side. And then on my mom's side, we're even bigger, because she has 5 sisters, and they all just been popping them out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, me and Jed are the only one without children.
Wow.
Yeah, we know the value of life and how it's really, really scary to raise kids.
Do you think you want to have kids?
I absolutely do, yeah. I mean, my nieces and nephews are like the most important thing in my life. And being an uncle has like been the blessing that I've always wanted it to be. I love kids. I feel like just moving around so much, there's a lot of my childhood that I didn't get to experience.
Right.
And I kind of want to give back. And I know what it's like to be a kid and not feel seen. So I make sure every time I see a child, I'm always just like looking at them saying, hey, what's going on in your world? Like,
Right. I
what's
love
this
kids,
like for you?
honestly.
Yeah. And like even for pictures, I always go up to kids and they're like, moms and dads are like, we want you to take a picture with our kid. And so I ask the kid, hey, can I take a picture with you? And that just makes them feel so like,
Right.
oh, you see me. I'm like, hell yeah. They're people too. They just don't have the dialogue and aren't as jaded as the rest of the world just yet.
Right.
So yeah, this is what I like to think of as my Louisiana.
So this is a campground, or they turned it into a campground?
Yeah, well, they basically just cut out. They were here all weekend, so he came and cleared it out.
So were they camping in like tents?
Oh,
cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll probably do it again.
Bro, this is insane. Wait, this is insane.
Yeah. There's a lot of cow bones and.
Well, no, the reason is just like, have you seen True Detective? That's based in Vermilion
Oh
Parish?
yeah. Oh, there's cow skulls everywhere.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I mean. So
No
nice
ritual
out here.
sacrifice happening out here.
You know, people are so scared to like come out here, and especially at like night and stuff. It's the place that I feel the most sane.
Oh, it's so peaceful, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because what are they scared of?
Right. I mean, the only thing to be scared of is another person.
Right.
Like we have so much more nefarious tendencies. But what, a monster? Yeah, in the mythology of the world. I'm sure. I feel like the veil is thinner here. That's why I like to come out here.
Yeah.
It's like I feel more connected to the spirit of what Louisiana has to offer, you know, especially in a place like this where it's been unchanged for hundreds of years. You know, besides the clearing of this, there really hasn't been much else.
No, right.
It's awesome.
And it's rare to have something that's wooded.
I know. But it's like a jungle. I brought my banjo player from Pennsylvania out here, and he was like, wow, this is crazy. There's like probably 5, 10 big oak trees like the one in the front that are just sprawling in nature. They almost feel like giant guardians, some type of spiritual leader that's in the ground here. But yeah, you don't hear nothing.
Yeah, it's so peaceful out here, yeah.
Super nice.
Super.
So I come back, I play for the trees, play for the ground. If I've been given some type of melodic power, and I need to kind of re-accentuate that back to the world.
Do you feel like they respond?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I always feel safe when I'm out here. Oh yeah, I'm hoping to buy some of this land and live off the grid. Well, now it's kind of on the grid, if you know about it.
Yeah, right. But the thing is, it's one of those things where it's like, even seeing this, no one would be able to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How far are we from the Gulf right now?
We are probably about a 30-minute drive.
Okay, word. Wow, so we're still pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vermilion, I think, is like one of the biggest parishes. Maybe it's the biggest.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm pretty positive it is. Yeah, I think we're 30 minutes this direction, but yeah, because we're only about 15 minutes from the bay, but you'd still need another 20-minute boat ride to get to the Gulf from there.
Right.
That's where we'll head to next.
So, tell me about your tree huggerness.
Yeah, I love nature so much. I think it's such an important part of being a Cajun person is your relationship to the land and how you have reverence for it. I mean, it's a giant grocery store that is just saying, take this and make sure you save enough for next season, you know. all the native people that used to live out here, there used to be wild rice growing through here. They would take off on their kayaks and their boats would fill up with rice, and then they'd have to dump it out, and people would be like, oh, no, why are you not collecting it all? And they're telling them, like, we need to give back. Like, there's going to be birds that eat off of this too. There's going to be seed that falls that needs to be replanted. Your relationship with the land is a big owl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your relationship with the land should be so symbiotic. Take care of it and it'll take care of you. And that's what my grandfather taught me when they lived off the marsh and on the Audubon wildlife property. It was like, cultivate what you need, don't take more than that. And I feel like there's such an overconsumption now because of the capitalism of the world. You know, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that has somehow invaded its way into the places like this in Cajun society. I don't need to make $1 million off a crawfish. I need to make enough to like sell to my buddy and pay my car note or something,
right.
You know? But the greed and gluttony kind of get the best of us sometimes. That's why I eat too many bowls of gumbo.
Yeah, right.
And then I pay for it at the gym.
Yeah, it was interesting what you said about the stealing happiness from another, what was it, the expression?
Another day, yeah.
Another day.
Moment.
I feel like it's a similar thing with the environment where, of course, we have to, or we do have to adapt to the environment to us, just like we adapt to the environment at times, you know? Or, you know, especially like in Louisiana nowadays, it's so hot in the summer. And so it's like, okay, yeah, we do AC, etc.
Right.
But it does seem sometimes that we've just gone overboard with it, where in just a gratuitous fashion, you know, we pollute, we cut things down. For me, what kills me is always like parking lots.
Oh, dude. Yeah, parking lots are
And I'm just like,
bummer.
if we have to do parking lots, can we not just do like multi-level parking lots?
Right.
And then you'll just go somewhere like in downtown New Orleans, and there's just like big parking lots, and it's like, this could be trees, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just flat cement. And it's just like,
yeah, it's I hope that, I mean, I feel like unfortunately it may only be a matter of time, but I just hope that never reaches here. I hope that people that are in a part of my generation kind of keep stuff like that from happening. But, you know, people's bottom dollar is affected, like the oil field industry.
right.
It had its place in its moment, and I feel like we're outgrowing it, but now so many people rely on it, especially people from here, and are in debt to it, that they have no other choice except to abide by the rules of which they want to take and take and take. And even like my family members who are such huge people and supporters of the natural area are even having to make sacrifices because their way of living is being compromised due to an industry of gluttony.
Right.
It's like, it sucks. And I'm just trying to tell my family, like, hey man, let's go to church and let's, you know, all get together for a meal and let's not take too much. And do you really need that Ford F550 billion jacked up truck? That you don't need that. Like, we could work a little bit harder without that vehicle. The keeping up with the Jones has
The car thing is something crazy.
it's
like
bizarre.
Like I love how your car is just like a regular car.
Well, yeah, I've never been somebody that needed some silly vehicle to make me feel better.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say this, but I always say, like, some girl told me one time, she's like, I feel like all those big cars, it's just like, it's giving small dick energy.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's certainly like swinging it. But it's just guys that think that that's who they are.
well, I
Because
do.
that's what they know. And it's
Right.
like, man, let me tell you something about your history, about your past. You should probably be fucking carving P-roads if you really
Right.
want to be a man. Like
Yeah,
by,
right.
by your ancestry. You know, you don't need any of that.
And I do think a lot of it though is just like the media images,
Yeah.
and so you're like, oh, I want to be like a celebrity, and
Right.
bling bling, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like we've kind of reached, I hope, the peak of it, and so there can be more positive role models like you. You know?
It's important if we want to keep this going. We gotta dial some things back, and a lot of the other stuff is just unnecessary.
Well, it's boring too. Like if everyone, you know what I mean, who wants to have the same type of car as everybody, you know what I'm saying, and all that. It's just like,
Oh, dude, if I can get to a place where I don't have a car,
I know, right? Oh,
that's where I'm gonna live.
That's the dream. That's the dream.